What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this wonderful Friday Eve where we're sitting just 2 days away for the Arizona Cardinals to kick off against the Los Angeles Rams, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to everyone that's currently still in the chat. We got 18 people in here right now. Huge shout out to you guys right now. I appreciate you guys for coming through. We're going to talk everything Arizona Cardinals versus Rams today. If you guys haven't done this yet already, I highly recommend you do so right now. Smack the like button on this video. It helps the channel grow out tremendously. So we got 19 people in here right now. We better got 19 likes on this video already. And if you haven't, please do so. Helps out the algorithm, helps out this channel grow out tremendously. We're on the road to 10K. I think last time I looked, we were at 501 subscribers away from hitting that big 10K mark. So I know we can do it, ladies and gentlemen. I know we can do it. It all starts off with you just subscribing and coming through. Let's dive right into this, everybody. Let's talk some Arizona Cardinals versus Rams. This is a huge game for the Arizona Cardinals, right? When you're taking a look at the matchup for this game, I think you don't have to be a rocket science or a brain scientist to know that the Rams have had our number for years and years, especially when Sean McVay has been the head coach over there. I think last time I looked, we were like 9-1 since 2017. And since Cliff Kingsbury and Sean McVay has been, battling it out, Cliff Kingsbury just got that one win over Sean McVay, which is pretty bad. It really is. And I don't, obviously we know about all that different stuff. So we just have to make sure we turn the narrative. We need to turn the page and make sure everybody knows this is 2022, a brand new year, an opportunity for us to go 2-1 and hopefully be beating this Los Angeles Rams team. In the division, because I think that's kind of one of the most important part in terms of, as an Arizona Cardinal fan, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired of losing to Sean McVay. I'm tired of losing to the Rams. So this is the opportunity for this Arizona Cardinal team to really come out and be 2-1. Now, granted, if we're going to go 1-2, it's not the end of the world. Will I still be pissed off? 100%. Yes, I will still be pissed off. But, there's still a lot of football left, and there's still a lot of opportunity for this Arizona Cardinals to kind of climb their way into the standings, because it's going to be tough. It absolutely is. I don't think we're the best division in football anymore. I believe that, that crown has now gone over to the AFC West, in my opinion. They got, Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, and the Arizona Cardinals here are sitting in the NFC West, which I still believe we got the best quarterback in the entirety of the NFC West. Hot take, but obviously I'm going to show my biasness right there. We're going to dive right into this Cardinals/Rams game here pretty soon. I want to give some big shout outs to everybody that's currently in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. One other thing that we're going to talk about, just to kind of give you guys a brief understanding with what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about injuries, right? We're going to dive into the injury report for the Arizona Cardinals, who we're going to see, who we're not going to see. We're going to talk about a very interesting topic that a lot of people don't really want to talk about right now, and that is Greg Dortch versus Rondell Moore. I think it's long overdue. We have to talk about it. I want to hear your guys' opinion, and then things that the Arizona Cardinals need to do in order for us to win this game versus the Sean McVay-led Rams. So let's dive right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this very first topic, which is going to be injury updates. If you guys don't already know, the injury report did come out. And not only that, but we do kind of have a better understanding in terms of who's going to play for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's talk about the big names out there, right? James Conner right now is listed as a game day decision. Now, does that give me butterflies? Does that give me excitement? No, absolutely it doesn't, right? It doesn't give me excitement, but we still have an opportunity for James Conner to show up. As of right now, he's a game day decision. Will I feel comfortable with Darrell Williams, Eno Benjamin? Yes, I will, but I would rather have our workhorse out there in James Conner. So he's a game day decision. We have Trayvon Mullen, which looks like it's trending in the right direction. So I'm excited to see how this is going to shake out for the Arizona Cardinals, because Trayvon Mullen was the guy that we've been waiting for, right? He's a second-round pick. Well, we're excited to see how this is going to go ahead and shake out for the Cardinals. So Trayvon Mullen might be a go. Trey McBride, our rookie, our tight end, our rookie tight end, he was activated, and I think he's going to be activated during this game. Now, will he get playing time? That's a different story, right? We still got Zach Ertz, we still got Max Williams, so maybe he won't get as much playing time as a lot of people would like, but he will be activated in this game, which is huge. We got two people already listed as out, and that is Rondell Moore and Ezekiel Turner. So those are the two people that are already listed as out for this Arizona Cardinal team, which, right, Ezekiel Turner, there's not a lot of like how do I say that? There's not a lot of like, oh my God, he's not going to play for us. This sucks, because he's listed as a linebacker, and we got linebackers already for days on this roster. But Rondell Moore is going to be one of the players that a lot of people want to kind of start labeling as maybe he is Andy Isabella 2.0, right? We're going to dive right into, Andy Isabella. I'm sorry. Wow. Rondell Moore versus Greg Dortch, and who you guys would like, especially when Rondell Moore does decide to come back. I'm very curious to figure out what your guys' take is. And I understand there's a lot of people that are very sensitive. When it comes down to the labeling of Rondell Moore is not as good as, Greg Dortch or Rondell Moore being a bust. I'm not out here saying Rondell Moore is a bust, but what I would love as an Arizona Cardinal fan is to have the best 11 people on the field at all single times. And as of right now, if you guys haven't been watching my channel for quite some time, you know how I'm going to lean there. So let's continue to talk about injury updates for the Arizona Cardinals. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about Rondell Moore versus Greg Dortch and how you guys are feeling about, Rondell Moore not being available for another game. This is going to be the third straight week for the 2022 season. And I believe there was a report out there that said that the Arizona Cardinals aren't really expecting him back until maybe about a week or two out. 3 weeks is, I think, pushing it. So we're looking more along the lines of not the Panthers game, but the game after. And I think that's the Eagles. So I think that's when we're kind of looking into getting Rondell Moore back. So like I said, we're going to dive right into it here a little sooner. So yeah, we're going to dive right into it. So let's get to the comments here. I got my guy Rams House up in the chat. What's up, Rams House? Appreciate you for being here. He said Rams have 3 cornerbacks ruled out due to injury. Okay. Rams House coming up clutch here with the comments. He says Rams cornerbacks will be Jalen Ramsey, Robert Rochelle, Darian Kendrick, who is a rookie, and Sean Jolly, which is also a rookie. Okay. There you go. Getting it here firsthand from my guy Rams House coming up clutch. He's saying that they're going to be, struggling in the cornerback role over there in the Rams land over there, which is it's a level up for the Arizona Cardinals. But I definitely don't want to fall in love with, they're hurt, let's take advantage. I mean, obviously that's what the Arizona Cardinals should do, right? But we have been a victim of this before, where the second game we ended up playing against them last year, where I believe Jalen Ramsey was out, and we still look like poop. Like, we still look bad. So I appreciate the injury report, Rams House. Absolutely means the world. Now, that right there should honestly give some sort of juice to this Arizona Cardinal team, right? It honestly should. But will it? That's going to be kind of something remaining to see at this very moment. So let's dive right into it. This is going to be the big elephant in the room, right? We need to move on topics here. And this is we might lose some people here, because some people just don't want to hear it. Some people just don't want to hear it. And I don't understand why people are so, what's the word? I don't want to say sensitive, but I don't know. Some people just don't want to hear it. But this is a conversation that needs to be had. And it really does. It absolutely does need to be had. Let's go ahead and bring up Rondell Moore stats here right now, which I'm doing right now here on the background. And while I do that, I want to let you guys get an opportunity in the chat to let me know, who would you rather have, right? So let's live in a world where, Rondell Moore does come back, right? And he's going to come back. So let's live in a world where he does come back. Put it in the chat. Who would you rather have on the slot? Rondell Moore or Greg Dortch? Let me know in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very curious. Now, this is a topic, like I said a little earlier, this is a very, very sensitive topic to a lot of fans. And the biggest reason why is because some fans don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Greg Dortch versus Rondell Moore, right? Who's going to be the guy that's going to, put us to that success level? Who's going to be that slot wide receiver that's going to give us an XL and just make our offense just that much better? This is the big topic. This is the big topic that we want to talk about here. Let's go into the 2022 season for Greg Dortch, right? That's the first year that he has been in the regular season for the Arizona Cardinals. So far, his stats look like this. Greg Dortch has 11 receptions, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, and he's averaging 10.7 yards per carry. Sorry, per reception. I apologize. That's what Greg Dortch is sitting right now. Let's look at the 2021 stats for Rondell Moore. His receptions is 54 receptions, 435 yards, average 8.1 yards per reception, and one touchdown. One touchdown. To me, I think the elephant in the room is out. I think the elephant in the room needs to be addressed. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Rondell Moore doesn't get playing time. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying here is that Greg Dortch should be the guy in the slot. Now, if we're going to be looking at the scenario where we're like, it's going to be 60 to 40, 60 being Greg Dortch and 40 being Rondell Moore, cool. I'm down. I'm absolutely 100% down with that scenario. But what I would love to see is Greg Dortch get the opportunity. Take away the second round pick for Rondell Moore, right? Take away the second round pick. Would you really start saying things like Rondell Moore has a higher upside? Because when you look at both of these players, right, you got a journeyman in Greg Dortch that has gone through multiple different teams and just never gotten the opportunity. And then you look at last year's draft pick, second rounder, a lot more people want Rondell Moore to succeed, whether they're just happy with playing with him in Madden, whether they fell in love with the way that he's, his skill set has transpired in the, on the field. I honestly do think when we're looking at both of these players, I want the best person available to play. I want the best person available to play. And like I said, even if it's 60 to 40, give Rondell Moore playing time. That's cool. That's what you want. That's fine. But I do think that Cliff Kingsbury and this coaching staff really needs to evaluate who's going to be that guy for them in the slot, taking that primary reps. And I do believe it should be Greg Dortch. I do believe that already in 2 games, missing DeAndre Hopkins. Can I add that right? Can I preface this? Missing DeAndre Hopkins. Greg Dortch has already done magical things for the Arizona Cardinals. Over 100 yards in 2 games. Now, granted, do we, right? We didn't look very good at all versus the Kansas City Chiefs game. We didn't. We looked absolutely garbage. But Greg Dortch was the guy who got the most receptions that game. In the Raiders game, we didn't look good for 2.5 quarters, and then we woke up towards the end of quarter 3, and then we woke up in the fourth quarter, and then Kyler Murray just went absolutely magical. I believe that in the slot, we should have Greg Dortch be the guy. Now, let's also preface this, because I see some in the comments here. Some people want to get rid of AJ, right? Maybe getting rid of AJ and putting Rondell Moore there. I mean, I see where that's coming, but realistically, I don't think Rondell Moore's coming back until maybe 1 game before D-Hop or 2 games before D-Hop. And why put that on Rondell Moore, right? If his main primary job was to be on the slot coming into the season, why put that on the young man? You got 2 games, go out there and do what AJ, right? Take over AJ's role. I don't feel like that's fair. So Rondell Moore is already listed as out in this game. He's listed as out. In a report, they said that they're still expecting for Rondell Moore to possibly miss up to 3 more weeks. I'm sorry, 2 more weeks. I apologize. No, 3 more. I'm sorry, 3. Possibly. It's looking like 1 or 2 more than anything. So that means we'll get him in the Panthers game or we'll get him in the Eagles game. But that's what it's looking like for Rondell Moore in his hamstring issue. What I would love is the idea of Greg Dortch being that guy in the slot. Whenever DeAndre Hopkins comes back, obviously he's going to take that outside position. Hollywood Brown on the other side. So AJ Green is eventually going to get pushed out, whether you like it or you don't. AJ Green is going to get pushed out because of what we have on this roster. Who would I put over AJ Green? I would put Rondell Moore over AJ, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. But I can't sit here right now and give you guys I'm putting Rondell Moore over Greg Dortch. I can't. I want the best 11 people on the field at all times. And to me, already in preseason and in the regular season, even when this offense didn't look like we were gelling, Greg Dortch was the guy doing things. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. But we got it. We got to get away from this preference of Rondell Moore was a second round pick, right? He's got such a higher ceiling. That's what everybody's living in this world of, that he's a second round pick. The ceiling is higher. Well, why? Because Steve Keim wanted to get him in the second round? Do we trust Steve Keim's evaluation that much? Would he have been picked up in the second round if we didn't do it? I don't know. So we got to get out of this thoughts and like just hoping that somebody works out, because Greg Dortch already has been the guy that I've seen on the field. Even when we looked terrible, Greg Dortch was the guy that came up clutch for this Arizona Cardinal team. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that right there. And I'm not trying to say, Rondell Moore is I'm not trying to say that. And I know some people are going to be really mad, and I get it, right? A lot of people watch football because of players. I watch football because I want to see my team succeed, and my team is the Arizona Cardinals. I want this team to operate at the highest level of offense that we can see. And to me, that means Greg Dortch in the slot. Rondell Moore, if you want to put him, where AJ is, cool. That's fine. That's up to Cliff. That's up to AJ. And that's up to Rondell Moore if he wants to take on that. I personally wouldn't do it because of the very reason of Hop is going to come a little sooner than we think. And why put him in that position? Why? So Greg Dortch versus Rondell Moore. To me, Greg Dortch over Rondell Moore. I want you guys to ask yourself this. If you're choosing Rondell Moore because he has a higher ceiling, if that's your main reason, because he has a higher ceiling, you got to really ask yourself, are we putting the best 11 people on the field in order for us to compete? Because I feel like sometimes there's a lot of fans that are really holding hope to these draft picks. Are we going to see Trey McBride? I don't think we're going to see Trey McBride very much this year. I don't think we are. People were raving. People love Trey McBride. That's cool. Love him. That's fine. To me, as an Arizona Cardinal fan, as long as you do the things that you're supposed to be doing, as long as you do the things to make us win and elevate us to a level, then I'm cool with you. I'm cool. The biggest problem that we're sitting on right now is that we have a lot of fans that are just really holding hope to draft picks. Guys, there's a thing called draft busts. It's a thing. Not saying Rondell Moore is one. I'm not saying, Trey McBride is one. But what I'm saying is you need to put the best 11 people on the field. It's just the way that it is. And to me, Greg Dortch is that guy over Rondell Moore, especially when Rondell Moore decides, to get healthy. So let's dive right into it here. Now, I do see a lot of people in the chat. I appreciate you guys for coming through. 64 people in here right now. That's absolutely amazing. On this daytime stream. That's cool. I want to start doing more of these things. Obviously, there's a lot of logistics. There's a lot of things that I need to work out in my personal life in order for me to make this happen. But if you guys haven't already, smack the like button on this video for everything Arizona Cardinals. We are on the road to 10K. The last time I looked, we were sitting at like 501 subscribers away from 10K. So we can do it. I have faith. I have hope that we can get to the level that we need to get to. Just do me one huge favor, smack the like button on this video, and everything else should be able to get itself worked out. If you guys don't follow me on all my social platforms are sitting right here. We got your YouTube where you're checking this out. We got your Instagram where I give you all the little updates that I don't want to make videos about. And then we got my Twitter page where I go absolutely crazy when it comes down to game time. So if you want to, follow me on all those, all of them are sitting right here. All you need to do is look up at the AZ Sports Fan. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So let's dive right into what the Arizona Cardinals need to do, right? This is a huge game for the Cardinals. It is. This is a big game for the Arizona Cardinals. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you think that the season is over already, whether you're already looking into the draft next year, this is a huge game for the Cardinals for a few different reasons. A, this is Sean McVay versus Cliff Kingsbury. If you take a look at the stats, if you take a look at the history, Sean McVay has had Cliff Kingsbury's number. But I'm a big advocate of history, but I'm also a big advocate of it's a new year, it's a new season, any given Sunday, right? We have beaten them before. We can do it again. We just need to take care of what we need to take care of. We got some people getting healthier, right? Especially on the defense. Trayvon Mullen is an opportunity to come in and really make people excited about this defense. So there's an opportunity there. Trayvon Mullen. Few things that I would like the Arizona Cardinals to do, and I feel like it's imperative that the Arizona Cardinals need to do in this game is, number one, this offense needs to get going. This offense needs to get going. And I mean from the jump. Not in the second half, not when it's 5 minutes left in the third quarter, not in the fourth quarter because we're trying to force overtime. Nah, we need to get this offense going fast and in the first quarter. We need to start converting third downs. It's bad. If you look at the stats, I believe it's not very favorable in terms of what the third down conversion for the Arizona Cardinals is. Now, I'm gonna throw it out there and say I'm blaming this on the fact that the Arizona Cardinals didn't play preseason. That's what I'm blaming it on, right? You needed to get the game time reps. It's a brand new team. Everybody preaches it, right? Every year, it's a brand new team. We got Marquise Hollywood Brown with Kyler Murray. You thought the connection would be able to kind of, shift over. That's the perfect world, but they do need to get those lifetime reps. And once we do, we're going to start seeing this offense get to a level where we're all pretty much comfortable with. Now, our defense, there's a little scarcity there. There's a little scarcity on the defense, but we got to give credit to where credit's due. And the defense did look very good in the second half versus the Raiders. They did. They held them to 3 points. They forced forced fumbles, and one of them came back to our favor with the whole scoop and score from Byron Murphy. So, what do the Arizona Cardinals need to do? They need to start off hot on the offense. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the primary reason and how we're going to get this done is the Arizona Cardinals need to remember they have one of the best tight ends in football. And that right there is Mr. Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz needs to be that guy that Travis Kelce is to Patrick Mahomes. That's what Zach Ertz needs to be. And that's what the game plan should be coming into this game. Safety blanket. The guy that's going to give you those quick 2 or 3 yards that we don't have to always play the third and long to try to convert those third downs because we gained them. That's what Zach Ertz needs to be for us. B, that run game. Now, I honestly do believe that James Conner will play. I have an inkling. I have some sort of feeling that I feel like he will. But if he doesn't, I do have faith that, Darrell Williams can step in. Darrell Williams and Eno Benjamin. I like Eno. I've been talking about Eno for a very, very long time on this channel. The moment we drafted him and I lived in a completely different house, different studio, I was telling you how much I loved seeing him coming out of ASU. He's great. He's small, but he plays huge. So a run game needs to get going. And that just kind of opens everything else up, right? If we allow Kyler Murray to do what Kyler Murray does, everything just kind of works out for us. Now, do I believe this defense is going to be able to stop this Rams team? I don't 100% think that that's going to be the case. Do I believe this is going to be a shootout? Yeah, I do believe this is going to be a shootout, at least in my opinion. But I've asked multiple Rams fans. I've asked multiple Rams fans already, and they don't think this is going to be a close game at all. They think this game is going to be a 31-17 game, a 34-17 game, 34-10 game. There's Rams fans out there that are saying this Arizona Cardinal team doesn't look very impressive. That's what they're saying. And it's up to the Arizona Cardinals to come out here and show their worth. Because let's be honest, the first six quarters didn't look so hot in offense. It didn't. Now, looking at their team, the Rams, I don't think that they look that great, right? They got obliterated by the Bills. We got obliterated by the Chiefs, right? I think we can all kind of come to a consensus that the AFC is probably better than the NFC this year, right? I think we could all come to that consensus. So they got obliterated. And then on top of that, They played a Falcons team that shouldn't be contending this year, but they were struggling. So I can look on their side and say, you guys don't look so good. Right? The biggest thing that they have that we don't have, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest thing that the Rams have that the Arizona Cardinals don't have is that ring. They proved it. They know their worth. They can talk. Because for this year, they are still the defending Super Bowl champions. Regardless of the outside noise coming in saying that Matthew Stafford has thrown 5 picks already? What in the living heck? What's going on with Matthew Stafford's elbow? What's happening? But if it was reversed, people would be saying the same thing about Kyler. The biggest difference between that team and our team is they got that hardware. They got it. They proved it. They proved that they can become that team with Matthew Stafford. So far, the Arizona Cardinals hasn't proven anything. And if you're looking throughout the entirety of the NFC West, we have every single team in the NFC West had a Super Bowl appearance in the last 10 years. And the Arizona Cardinals didn't. Super Bowl appearance. Not conference championship, Super Bowl appearance. And the Arizona Cardinals haven't. So we're seen as the little brothers. We're seen as that team that's so cute. Oh, look at the Cardinals. Look, they're 8-0 last year. They crashed and burned. That's what we're looked at. That's what everybody in the division said the same thing. If you guys don't know, I run a channel called the NFC West Network. Great content, if I might say so myself. If you guys haven't already subscribed, in the description of this video, you will see a link to the NFC West Network. I highly recommend you subscribe. We go live every single Tuesday, and we do a fan versus fan every Wednesday, as long as we have teams in the NFC West playing each other. Great content. Recommend you go over there, subscribe. We're on the road to 1K over there, so definitely go ahead and do me that huge favor. Subscribe. It's on the description of this video. But I asked the panel during our roundtable, I said, how do you guys feel about the Arizona Cardinals? They're like, they're cool. I don't see you guys doing anything, but you're cool. If that doesn't give you a fire in your belly as an Arizona Cardinal fan, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm tired of it. Honestly, I'm tired of being at the bottom. We weren't at the bottom last year, but we weren't at the top either. Nobody remembers we were number 2. People remember we were number 1. And the Rams were division winners because we let it slip up again. And the Rams are Super Bowl champions. But to me, looking at the Rams this year, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the Rams. I'm really not. I don't think Matthew Stafford is playing at that MVP level. I don't think he is. 5 interceptions, y'all. And the reason why it's not talked about very much is because they got the hardware. They got the ring. But Matthew Stafford isn't looking that great. Now, the offense of the Arizona Cardinals ain't looking that great either. So, I mean, it's not like we're boasting very much, right? We looked very good for 2 out of the 8 quarters this year so far on offense. Right? So nothing for us to gloat about, but I do think that this is a manageable game. I think this is a winnable game for this Arizona Cardinal team. We got to put the hands in Matthew Stafford. Pressure him up the middle. Pressure him everywhere, not just up the middle, in the edges. I want to see this guy run for his life. He doesn't run very much, but if he can't, or if he needs to, he would. That's what I want to see in this game. That's what I would love to see in this game. Our defense really come up and allow our offense to start gelling with each other, to really start kind of putting a name out there for themselves. Because it has to be us. There's only so much we can do as fans, right? The Arizona Cardinals are going to the Super Bowl, right? The Arizona Cardinals are winning the NFC West. I hear so many fans talking about it. And the main reason why they think we're going to the Super Bowl is because we have the Super Bowl here. What? No. just because that's the way it planned out for the Bucks, and that's the way that it planned out for the Rams. If I hear somebody say we're going to the Super Bowl because we're playing the Super Bowl here, we're not having an honest conversation. And I don't know how to have a conversation with you. Like, that shouldn't be a reason why we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it, because the last 3 years, right? No, or 2 years, I'm sorry. No, it's not how it works. We're not giving a free pass here. We got to work for it. We got to work for it. So I do think that this game is winnable. I do. Now, maybe ask me in 24 hours when we're starting this game, maybe in halfway through, maybe I might change my tune. But I do think that this game is winnable for this Arizona Cardinal team. I think roster to roster, I think we got somebody comparable to them. Now, right? We don't have a Jalen Ramsey. We don't have an Aaron Donald. But we got some comparable people. JJ Watt, as long as he can stay healthy, he's as good as they come. I wouldn't put him in the Aaron Donald category, right? I wouldn't put him there. But our running backs, I feel like, are better. James Conner, over all of them. Our wide receiving core is, like, Cooper Kupp is very good, right? I'm not going to disrespect Cooper. Cooper Kupp is great. Allen Robinson, we haven't really seen what he can actually do in this system. And the more and more he's in it, the more and more better he's going to get, right? I think once DeAndre Hopkins is on the field, I think we can also honestly say we might have one of the best wide receiving cores when Hopkins is back. The offensive line, I've been surprised. They actually have done pretty well. I think the offensive line has done pretty well. I don't think it's this offense of debacle that we've been seeing. It's just because they haven't gelled yet. Once we do, I think it will get better for this Arizona Cardinal team. Byron Murphy, right? I mean, I think he's comparable to Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey obviously is far superior. He's superior. He is. I wouldn't say far superior, but he's superior. He's done it for years. Byron Murphy is now starting to hit his stride. He did a little bit of flashes last year, but he wasn't our best corner. It wasn't our best corner. It was Robert Alford when he was healthy. So I do think that he could make that next jump, and we're all expecting him to. So this game right here, to me, is winnable. It is. So start off strong is huge on offense. Pressure Matthew Stafford, whether in the interior or the edge. This is a winnable game. We just got to take care of business. Who's going to win in the trenches? That is going to be the biggest takeaway in this game. Whose cage is going to be rattled? Is it going to be Kyler's? Is it going to be Matthew Stafford's? How is this game going to shake out? It's going to start in the trenches and going to end in the trenches. I think our offensive line has actually held up very well. Honestly. Will Hernandez has been a surprise. I'm glad. Rodney Hudson's playing good. And then we had, DJ doing good things against Chandler. So we got the pieces. We got the team. It's just, can we put it out on the field and really make this work for us? That's going to be the big question, right? Who's going to be able to win in the trenches? That's the big question. Let's take a look here at the comments here. Let's see what Asher says. Asher says McVay's record against the Cards is 9-1. Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware. But doesn't mean it can't be 9-2 by the time this game is over, right? Yeah. I mean, if you're a Rams fan, look at the 49ers. The 49ers always beat the Rams, right? Not always, but it's favorable in their hand. But you can win, and you've proved it in the playoffs if you're a Rams fan. You're right. Sean McVay's record is 9-1 against the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm aware. But doesn't mean we can't be 9-2 by the time this game is over. And be 2-1 in the season while the Rams are 1-2 and everybody starts overreacting on the Rams. Because I'm not fully sold on the Rams repeating. I'm really not. Yeah, they're 1-1. We're 1-1 as well. They got a beat down. We got a beat down. They didn't really. I honestly did think that when I looked at the Falcons versus Rams, I thought that was going to be much more of a beatdown than it was. Seriously, I honestly did. So just because it's 9-1, and we're aware, right? Cardinal fans are aware. Not like we're hiding away from it. We're aware that Sean McVay has had the number of the Arizona Cardinals. We're aware. But things can change. Things can change. Just like Rocky Balboa said, right? If you can change and I can change, then we all can change. It's a brand new year. It's a different day for this Arizona Cardinal team. And I do believe that we can become that team. We just need to take care of what we need to take care of. That's it. I know, easier said than done, right? Because that's what the good teams with cultures do. The good teams with culture, that's what they do. Regardless if they have this person missing, that person missing, that person missing, that person missing, that's what good teams with good culture do. And we need to be that one day. That's what we need to be. That's what we need to be. All right, I appreciate everybody for coming through. If you guys haven't already, and I know I've said this but multiple different times, but smack that like button. Helps the channel grow out tremendously. We are on the road to 10K. Last time I looked, we were sitting at 501 subscribers away from 10K. We're so close. We're going to get there. So if this is your first time on this channel and you're like, hey, who the heck is this guy with cool hair? My name is Mike. I go by the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, and we are just trying to get to 10K, try to build this community out as best as we possibly could. So follow me on all my social platforms, which are sitting right here along the bottom. Smack the like button on this video, and this weekend is going to tell us a lot of what we have learned. So we'll have to kind of wait to see. Since I got 52 people in here right now, everything in the comments below. Give me your game day predictions. Game day predictions right now. 53 people right now in the chat. Give me your game day predictions before we end off this live stream. And like I said a little earlier, just because we're 9-1 doesn't mean we can't be 9-2 against Sean McVay. It doesn't. Thomas up in here right now says 34-31. Cardinals get the W. Love it. Highness says 2-1 coming this weekend. Love it. If we do beat the Lambs at least once this season, we can win the division. We beat them by a touchdown. Anyway, like you see it, like, love it. Ranger over here says 31-24 cards, 31-27 cards. Appreciate everybody, you guys hanging out. If you guys do like these midday live streams, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments of this video. Smack the like button if you do like this midday live streams. Obviously, I want to make this a thing. I just got to figure out logistics, right? Got to figure out my job because this doesn't pay my bills. Let me know if you guys like these midday live streams, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments. Appreciate everybody for coming through. This has been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. Thank you so very much. We're trying to build this community out right. We're trying to always make sure that we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals. And if ever you feel like there is a place that you need to go when you don't feel good about the Cardinals, when you're feeling about the good about the Cardinals, here it is. The AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Go Cards.